Yeah,
It's gross because I feel like I had to. I feel like this is so nuts. This is so nuts. When that Tim Walz guy, that guy's, it's so nuts that guy was going to be the vice president. You're telling me, you're telling me this whole thing's fake then. You're telling me you don't care if someone's a liar. You don't care if they lied about their military rank, where they served. You don't care if they lie about being an assistant. You don't care if they lie about Tiananmen Square. There's too many things. This is so crazy. You would get fired if you were an assistant manager at a fucking oil changing company.
Okay. So, you know, first of all, you can break down each of these claims that Rogan makes individually. The alleged lie that Walz told about his military rank, I believe, was a confusion as to what is the highest rank he reached versus at what rank did he retire.
Woke David Pakman goes ballistic after Joe Rogan torches him in the woke left because the Democratic Party is full of liars. And specifically in this video, we're going to be discussing Tim Walz's lies, and we got a whole list, and we're going to expose them. It's juicy. It's fun. And yeah, make sure you subscribe. By the way, I have not posted in the past few days because I was at AmFest, the Charlie Kirk's Turning Point conference. By the way, I have a really juicy inside story about Adam Sosnick. I did run into him, and he's just as unpleasant online he's just as unpleasant in person that he is online. So that will be fun. Make sure you subscribe, turn notification bells on so you guys don't miss that juicy insider scoop video drama tea that involves yours truly. Anyways, without further ado, let's go into David Pakman being a snake.
Why he got involved in the 2024 election after previously saying he wanted nothing to do with it, and specifically why he endorsed Donald Trump. And Joe Rogan's reasoning is baffling, to say the least. In a recently published episode, Joe Rogan says his decision to get involved and endorse Trump ultimately was driven because of lies. Now you might say, oh, that makes sense. Trump lies all the time. Rogan, no. Tim Walz's lies.
And this is a classic tactic you'll see Democrats doing. Whenever we talk about the Democrats that are lying, they always say, well, Trump's the biggest liar ever. And like, he's your messiah and you guys love him and it's a cult and he's just the biggest liar ever. Deflection. Hello. We're not talking about Trump right now. None of them can ever admit when their preferred leaders or politicians are liars themselves. It's annoying and we see right through it. We see you.
Are the reason that Rogan decided to endorse Donald Trump, which is weird because Donald Trump is a compulsive liar. And Rogan rattles off.
Takes one to know one, David Snake Man. Oh, that's a new name. I like it, David Snake Man. It totally makes sense. And make sure you comment David Snake Man. Helps boost the video in the algorithm. And hey, why not? While you're at it, like the video. Also helps. Let's get back to it.
A variety of different things that Tim Walz has said. And they have to do with credentials. They have to do with military. They have to do with all these different things. So here is Joe Rogan explaining it to us, and this is truly baffling.
Well, I wanted to stay out of the presidential election shit.
Yeah,
it's gross because I feel like I had to. I feel like this is so nuts. This is so nuts. When that Tim Walz guy, that guy's, it's so nuts that guy was going to be the vice president. You're telling me, you're telling me this whole thing's fake then. You're telling me you don't care if someone's a liar. You don't care if they lied about their military rank, where they served. You don't care if they lie about being an assistant. You don't care if they lie about Tiananmen Square. There's too many things. This is so crazy. You would get fired if you were an assistant manager at a fucking oil changing company.
Okay. So, you know, first of all, you can break down each of these claims that Rogan makes individually. The alleged lie that Walz told about his military rank, I believe, was a confusion as to what is the highest rank he reached versus at what rank did he retire.
Oh. Fake news. Let me just give you guys a quick little list. It's not too little, actually, of all of Tim Walz's lies. Watch, listen. Got them written down here for you. So we have being an Afghan veteran. Yeah, he wasn't one. Being a command sergeant major. Conceiving his children through IVF, which, by the way, his own wife debunked that like years ago. She said that they did not use IVF to have children. But of course, Tim Walz was using the whole IVF argument to try to condemn Donald Trump and the reversal of Roe v. Wade. And, you know, the idea that you can't do IVF, whatever. I mean, I don't think you should be able to, but that's not what happened. Anyways, knowing his unit was being deployed, carrying weapons into war, being a head football coach, and lying about being deaf to get out of a DUI. So, listen, that sounds like pretty big lies to me. And of course, woke David Snakeman will not admit it, right? It's obnoxious. All right, let's get back to it. Let's see what David Snakeman's going to say. Because, of course, he's just going to pick one lie that he thinks that he can get a snake around it, the little snake that he is. And what about all those other lies, David Snakeman? Come on.
Is that a lie? Is it anywhere close to Trump's 30,000 lies? You can be the judge. But my understanding is that Walz did accurately represent the highest rank he reached, but that's not the rank at which he retired. Okay. As far as serving, my understanding is that Walz did not claim to have served in combat. That's my understanding. As far as the dates of Tiananmen Square, he did get that wrong, and he acknowledged that he got those dates wrong. He was there within months, but there was not overlap. Okay, but then you have to zoom out, and you have to say, okay, if you're upset about those three things with Tim Walz, how do you then go and endorse Trump if what you care about is the truth? Because Trump told...
What are Trump's lies? Is he going to try to say them?
Over 30,000 documented lies during his presidency. This is
30,000. You see how the mainstream media will go through everything Trump says with a fine-tooth comb and has a list, and they have all these people backing it up, but they don't do that with Tim Walz. They don't do that with Democrats.
The Trump who said Mexico will pay for a wall. COVID will magically disappear by Easter of 2020, that he won an election that he actually lost by millions of votes. Trump's lies aren't just frequent, the scale of them. And, you know, Walz's rank at retirement versus peak rank versus Trump saying, I actually won this election and should have gotten to be the president. Trump still lies about the election results of 2016. Trump still doesn't want to acknowledge that he straight up lost the popular vote in 2016. That was 8 years ago. And Rogan endorses Trump because it's Walz who's dishonest. Now, I think it's fair to ask, does Rogan genuinely think Trump is more honest than Tim Walz, or is it about picking the lies that you're willing to tolerate? Because if lies were the deal breaker, Trump would be the first candidate you would say, I've got to rule them out because they tell too many lies. Instead, Rogan doubles down on the guy who's made lying a cornerstone. You know, we talk about, is Trump for or against legal abortion? Is Trump for or against gay marriage? Is Trump for or against tariffs? We don't know.
Here's what is so frustrating about this situation. The mainstream media, the left-wing media, everyone lies about what Trump says. Trump made it very clear that he would never like sign a federal abortion ban, even though I think that there should be, because I think we should be protecting innocent life. Of course, babies should not be aborted, but he is in support of IVF, but people on the left try to say that he's not. And like Tim Walz lied about conceiving kids through IVF to push that political narrative, even though Trump himself has said time and time again that he doesn't support banning IVF. Like, what are these people talking about? But of course, they don't know because they just believe whatever the mainstream media tells them. They don't actually go and listen to what Trump himself says. And if they do, like David Snakeman, I'm sure he just twists what Trump says because he's part of the left-wing crazy lunatic media who's lying to their audience. It's disgraceful. Absolutely disgraceful. Gosh, it drives, honestly, it drives me nuts. How about you guys? I know you guys are with me on this one. Let's get back to it.
The one thing Trump is fine with is lying and dishonesty. That's the one thing he's fine with. And it's not just hypocrisy. This is part of a bigger pattern where the MAGA crowd pretends to care about a principle. In this case, the principle is honesty. But then when it's inconvenient, they ignore it. Did Kamala Harris really work at McDonald's? Was Tim Walz really drawing up the plays, or did someone else coach the offensive line? Trump tells 30,000 lies and they go, I'm voting for Trump because I care about honesty and the truth and forthrightness. If
I'll let him finish, but I have a lot to say.
Rogan wants to call out Walz, fine. But you've got to say, and because of that, I also can't endorse Donald Trump. But instead, he did endorse Donald Trump.
All right. Well, David Snakeman, we're done listening to you. Let me just tell you something. I truly believe that Donald Trump in his heart believes that the election was stolen from him. I truly believe that he thinks the mainstream media lies about him and his family and everything, right? Donald Trump truly believes these things versus the Democrats who lie about weird stuff to push their political agenda and make people think that there's something that they're not. That's what's going on. Trump probably presents the worst version of himself in public. Like, I kind of do that too, not in public in person, but online I'm kind of like crazy and fiery and like kind of bitchy. But if you know me in real life, I'm actually really nice. I know, don't tell anyone. Ruins my online image. Gosh, there's something else I want to say. Let me think. Oh yeah, I remembered what I wanted to say. Does David Snakeman, does he have any, could he maybe possibly think for 1 second? Just come with me. Come with me. Just take along this ride, David Snakeman. You know, Joe Rogan endorsed Bernie Sanders in the past. It's not like he's some right winger who's making excuses up for Donald Trump. He's criticized Donald Trump a lot in the past. Could you think that maybe perhaps Joe Rogan is sick of these weird, obscure lies from the Democratic Party and truly believes Trump thought the election was stolen and doesn't think he was lying about these things, and like sees what the mainstream media and leftist snakes like yourself say about Trump versus what Trump actually says, and he sees, wow, the Democratic Party is full of a bunch of liars. Maybe that's what's happening. Because why else? Why else? Why else do you think Joe Rogan decided to support Trump? Please tell me. Please tell me. I hope tag him in this. I hope we make a response video, David Snakeman. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Thank you for watching till the end. If you did, comment an orange heart. It helps boost the video in the algorithm because YouTube likes to censor orange women like me. I'll see you guys in the next one. Adios.